Hi everyone, this is Rehber Çetiner speaking from Turkey. This channel is for normally English speakers and maybe second language users, but our first goal and basic aim is to reach all of the people across the globe who are really willing to learn English as a second language or as a foreign language. Beforehand, we talked to many professionals, teachers, educators, and consultants about this issue. Um, Rather to mention all about the structure and what it takes to gain language competence in a very short time, uh, the experiences of those people who gained English competence or language skills in their or with their own struggles, and at least gain basic daily language skills or other four skills of English that are really uh, refer to your language level and some other language competence issues. Now, as a teacher, uh, I can invite many teachers, second language teachers, native teachers, or some other educators here. But in order to encourage students to learn or take a step forward to use their data, use their English, and use their at least uh, learned contents here, maybe we can set an example for those students who lost their courage, lost their um, confidence about in speaking English using their daily matters or daily language skills or knowledge. Now, I have a guest for you here today, this night, and this guest is very special for me, and I guess she will be special for you too. First, I admire her very much. I adore her very much because even though she had no time to practice her language or her data in her daily routines, because we have not many people around who uses English as a second language or native language here in Turkey, and many Turkish speakers are really not willing to use English in their daily matters, daily routines. So many of the students have this same challenge, even though they learn so many words and phrases and phrasal verbs and many other word formations, uh, throughout the time they fade away, and they forget all about those words and memorized structures or phrasal verbs and those. Now, my special guest is ready to go on air, and I am ready to do so. Please join us in our new channel. So we have an English channel for you. Later we will advertise it. Maybe we can franchise it somehow. But we are having this conversation here under the title of Eğitim Rehberim, but our original name for this English spoken environment, we have this name and this channel for you. Yes, Chatterhouse Community is our mainstream channel for English speakers or for those who are really willing to learn or practice English. By the way, we are online, so you can join us with your questions, with your suggestions, and with your comments below, just under the video and the broadcast. Yes, we have this channel for you. Chatterhouse Community is unique and special for me because it is the first attempt to speak improvised and on the spot. So please join us in this show. And if you really want to ask anything or anything to the stream, please don't hesitate to write or don't hesitate to send your audios and suggestions and comments and even criticisms about what's going on here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Sheval Sude Shantur. Hi, Sheval.
Hi.
Good
Hi.
evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Just fine. Thank you very much. Can you introduce yourself
Of course, I'm
shortly to the audience,
Shavai.
please?
Okay. I'm an 11th grader and I've been learning English since I was a kindergartner. Um, and I'm 16. My native language is Turkish. English is my second language. And I think that's enough for now.
I think that's not enough, but it is just a start for the
Yeah, just
better. And can you talk about your English experiences, learning English at least, when you realize that you are really catching up with a serious issue without any hesitation or fear, at least, let's say, or at what grade are you or were you really willing to learn uh, or feel the hunger of learning a new language, second language?
hmm everything in the media is like English mainly, generally. Everything that you see, the funny things, the memes, the videos, the informative things, they're all in English. So that automatically makes you want to learn English better to understand from the source, because even while you're watching like the classic movies, you don't know the original. And it made me want to learn English personally when I was like at the fifth grade. Um, we used to like watch series from the class in the class, and I didn't want to look at the subtitles, because the original thing was right there. Why would I need
Yeah,
to look at the subtitles? I mean, are you going to watch the movie or read the things? So it made me really want to know English like better. But I think since I was like learning English from kindergarten, like I was learning English since then, um, I had a base, so it wasn't hard to like improve myself for the better. Because when you have a base, you can like sort of form over it, when you have a foundation.
agree. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Shiva, which one was a great assess for you? I mean, reading the books, watching the movies, listening to the songs, or somehow spare some time for the daily practice with your friends or
Oh
teachers,
yes,
maybe. Which one
yes.
is the primary uh, preference for you?
I used to watch a lot of cartoons, so I would say the cartoons are the primary things because in cartoons the English is really like um, clear, like pure. The accents, everything is you can hear everything clearly. So when you're watching cartoons, it's like easier to understand anything. So cartoons were a lot. Attractive to me. Even now, I'm watching cartoons. So
No,
I used to like,
because the language or the dialogues were easier. That's why, is it?
not
Oh,
entirely, but it of course it helped too because I mean after I improved myself, I went to like the series which had accents and like more complicated English. But cartoons, I say, are like a good start.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you really, or some, if you are asked to give advice about language or learning language or gaining language skills, which one do you suggest first? Reading the
Um,
books or watching the cartoons, or what about the subtitles or the movies or the theaters or the booklets or the dictionary?
um, I would say the school English is like you need that as a base, but you need to improve yourself because school English is not enough. Definitely not enough. It's about the system. It's not about the teachers and stuff. I would say reading actually helps the most because I have been reading English books since I was like about fifth grade again, and even when I didn't understand, I didn't look up at the words. I just tried to guess them from the usage. of them
Yes,
in the
guessing the meaning
sentences.
from the context.
Yes,
I see.
yes.
I
At
see.
at some point, you just like get used to it. Like seeing the
Yep.
words in some other places, you just don't learn the meaning. You learn where to use them. You
I
know.
see.
So I would say reading is the most important thing, and it's not only effective in English. Actually, I used to like what read Spanish books, even though I understood nothing. I didn't even have a base, but like
Yeah.
I read Spanish books.
I see.
And at some
What?
points you do start to understand.
Yeah. What about the primary school era? I mean, did you had those challenges or obstacles about learning English, or did you have a good relationship with your teachers, or do you feel the sympathy on the books? Uh, what are those factors? I mean, I really want to learn about your struggle in primary school, later in secondary school. Now you're a high school
Hmm.
student. So how it, how it is going on?
I would say that I was good with English ever since I started learning it. Um, I had like a good impersonating talent. When you're impersonating things, you
Ah,
when you
we will
imper
come to that later, inshallah. 1 minute.
yes.
Okay.
Um, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. When you try to impersonate things like accents and stuff, your accent gets better. Like when you try to say something, when you try to do what they're doing, it gets better. So I had that talent when I was a kid. So I didn't really struggle with English when I was a kid too. I mean, my I had some foreign teachers, and they always told me that I had an accent even back then,
Yeah,
and
that's
they
an
used to talk
important
with my
point.
mom.
Thank you. Thank you. You had a foreign native language speaker in
Hmm.
your primary school era, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, I have.
uh, did she or he help you a lot about this practice, daily routines, daily practice, or did they spare some time after school or before school for you, or did they
Hmm.
offer you extra works or extra study after school mostly?
Hmm. Well, we had Saturday courses and after school courses, and our entire fifth grade was filled with English lessons. We had reading lessons, we
Hmm.
had listening lessons, and we had like a total of 16 lessons in a week.
I
English
see.
lessons. They're all English lessons. And
I
they were
remember.
based, of course
I
I do. It
remember.
was so fun. It was such fun. I still remember those days, and I miss them so much actually.
Uh,
Because when you're
no.
hmm,
Carry on,
when
please.
you're
No, please do.
when you're in an environment with people who can speak English, you can actually communicate better, sort of. Because
My next question was that. I mean, I mean, have you ever or did you ever feel that loneliness in school atmosphere, school building, that you were really willing to learn, you were persuading yourself to do more about the English, but did you find enough friends who can catch up with you about the language and the practices?
my current friends are actually my old school friends, so we're still communicating and we're communicating in English actually. So I can say that I can say proudly that we used to talk a lot of English at school. Now on phones, when we meet, like inside jokes, they're all in English. We used to talk. I mean, I can't say used to because we're still doing it. Um, but like I didn't have a problem with that at all, and my teachers too, they all spoke good English too, so we could like chat with them. And actually it was forbidden for us to speak Turkish in class, so like we were like obliged to like talk English, which is
Talk
I think
English.
amazing.
I understand, but it means you were just like a gang of English speakers, or that hardcore group of ladies, or just ladies or
Oh,
boys?
no,
Did you have a
no.
mixed group?
I mean, I now have a mixed group of. I mean, it's we're not all groups, you know. My individual friends and I are talking in English too. My they're mixed, yes. Um, but we did have a group full of ladies, and we still
Nice.
do. We're still communicating to
Uh,
this day.
do you really still continuing communication in your WhatsApp
Yes,
groups? Still
yes.
in
Not only
English?
in Yes, and not only in
Uh,
like WhatsApp groups, we meet too.
Nice to
They're
hear
still
that.
my best
Yes, you have
friends.
lots of group, but in our group, it was silence for
Oh
many months,
yes.
I guess. Yes, so
Mm-hmm.
we need to activate it somehow later in this month or the next. But we have a question from Asad Ahmed Selim. As far as I remember, he is Ahmed
Yeah.
Selim. Ahmed Selim asks you, does she recommend any special book or something to read? Do you have?
Um, I think I started off with Harry Potter series, which I now
Um,
am not really a fan of. Um, but I would say that Percy Jackson also is an amazing
mm,
book to start with because it used to be my favorite book when I was in fifth grade again. And as I said, it's not a book for grown-ups, so the English is like clearer to understand. The things that are targeted for children are a lot more clearer, a lot more easier
yeah.
to
And
understand.
let me make this joke, so that Ahmed Selim, the Frog King is or can be the best starter for you, or you can even choose the Secrets of the Cappadocia for Turkish audience, or any some other. I have some other books here. Luckily, I have them just behind me. Dick Francis has Reflex, for example. I can advise you, and three men in a boat from secondary school era. You can start reading, and I have a bookworm club bronze series here with short stories and some practices just at the back of the book. um the Ugly Duckling, Ahmed Selim. I have Ugly Duckling, Monster in the Box. So we have so many books in English. uh, Look, I have so many friends, English speakers, not English speakers. Although Turkish people, Turkish students, or Turkish adults read a lot in English, they still have that hesitation about using their language, losing their word power in daily speech.
Mhm.
They are really afraid of spelling a word in a crowd, or at least greetings. But uh, I read so many books. Every book has its own word power. Some
Mhm.
hard, some easy, some mixed. But uh, they can benefit from the books, series, movies, and some other things. But what is the basic of gaining this competence in a very short time? Is it the courage? Is it the sympathy? Is it the love? Is it what is that thing? Is it a feeling? Is it a kind of attitude? Is it kind of an um, action work? What is that?
Um, I think it's the feeling the need, you know, because I I wanted to like you know, understand everything without any limits. And I think it also like connects with your um, love to it, with yeah, like your connection. But it doesn't have to be like solely um, that, because I know that many students in Turkey like think that English is just like a lesson that you need to learn. Is Turkish a lesson? Did you learn Turkish as a lesson when you were a baby? You didn't. English is the same thing. You learn English like you're a baby. It's not a lesson. It's a fun thing actually.
Yes, but you are skipping something serious. What is that? You had that chance to practice your English in
Yeah.
England, right? What was that
Yes.
story? Can you talk about it shortly?
Of
And
course.
I have another question before that. What is your favorite speaker? Is it from Ege Talha Dönmez, what is your favorite speaker, maybe, or anchorman, or the audio voice, or your example character, or I mean, uh, can you talk about the person or the dialects or the accents that you are really following? I mean, there are
Oh,
many people, many live shows
mm-hmm.
or TV programs. So,
Yes.
according to the voices or the audio quality, you
Mm-hmm.
feel that sympathy to some people. For example, I am really a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. Is it
Yes, I
Cumberbatch?
love him.
Because his
Cumberbatch.
accent is
Amazing.
original English kind of
Yes.
accent. So
Mm-hmm.
I, whenever I listen to Benedict at some TV
Mm-hmm.
programs or the interview, I really uh, love it, admire
Yes.
him, even though he's an English originally. But do you have those kind of names or the people you are really into listening or following?
Um, I would say that my action like formed itself, but I need to mention that I used to watch a lot of YouTube when I was a kid, so I probably they were all American, so I probably took that from them. But
I
I
see.
do not really have
By
any specific.
the way, ladies and gentlemen, please attention. Do not yet let your children watch videos without your control or check. Come back again. I uh, I have another question from Soner Demircan. The question is like, everything is good, yet I have not got any chance to practice with a native. What we can do specifically? Thank you, Soner. It is really a serious question.
Um, I would say, I mean, I know that going abroad is not like an option for everyone. Uh, but there are, I think, apps like Cambly and stuff where
Mhm.
you can speak with a native person.
But if you pay.
Yeah, but if you pay, only if you pay.
Uh,
Um, I think you need to have connections, because my aunt is actually English, like fully
mhm.
original English. So I had a small chance of talking to her when I was little. Like we used to read books together. So I'm not really sure about how you can find a native person who can speak with you without paying.
Um, my greatest advice can be, Soner, watching and following some interviews, not
Yes.
TV programs. Maybe TV
Hmm.
programs can be taken as a second step, second choice, but interviews, real life interviews with the celebrities, with the athletes, with some other people around, because they reflect the daily speech that you can understand, or that you can satisfy yourself that you have that English skill or the knowledge to understand at least little bit. So it can give you a kind of self confidence to carry on for the uh, rest of your life. Um, Second is to by the way, Sude,
Hmm.
I when I was when I was checking my box from those eras, I came across with a book published by the school, and you had a kind of article or story in that book. I guess it
I
was a story. Yeah, it was a compact story book um, created
I
with your
remember.
stories. At least
Hmm.
20 or 15 students were there with their stories in that book. I was
Hmm.
really felt that emotional about those era, because Soner, it is for you too. If you take a step further, if you take a new step to use your English, it will get better and better and better in each step you take. For example, Sude started answering and questioning in the lesson time. Later, she take it to after school and after school activities. Later, she used her hobbies like listening to music, reading the books, and watching the TV series. But they all backed her up very much about her competence in language. By the way, we have another question. Is it question? Thank you. from Asad again, Ahmed. Thank you. I will read them right after I finish learning the alphabet. Thank you for the joke, Ahmed Selim. Yes, it starts with the alphabet, I guess. And Ege, Ege is with us again. Books are usually comforting. So, what do you think about it? Yep, they comfort you and
Definitely,
teach
definitely.
you. Yes, teach you and set a uh, basic standard for you uh, as a leveling or kind of again he says when you read a book how do you read it for example it's exciting how do you read it you can read
Um,
loud by the way you can make an audio or loud practice and you can get used to your own voice and
yeah.
you can try new dialogues or theatrical um, reading. I mean, you can change your voice, tone of
Mhm.
voice, and even you can find the digital versions of those books, and even you can have an accent just like Sude did, uh, very close to original English or native English speakers. Sude, your turn. And Asad
Um,
again, 1 minute, you can find apps or website. That was the thing I have just mentioned, which are created for communicating with native speakers as Tandem, for example. Advertisement is right now. Yes, Fatih Çelik is here. Good, thank you. Good vibes. Is it a kind of application? I guess. Thank you, Fatih Çelik. Sude, your turn. Here we go again. Yes.
about the book club.
Where we were. We were about your English experience, English,
Oh, England.
England. Yes, England
Yes.
original story. Can you talk about it a little bit, please?
Okay, so when I was at the eighth grade, we had a competition. Our school arranged a
Read for fun,
competition.
kind of.
Sorry?
Read for fun, kind of.
Yes, yes. It was named Read for Fun, and we had to read a book. The book's name was The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which was really racist, but I'm not going to talk about
Yeah.
that right now. Um, and then we had to redesign a brand new cover for it, um, like a movie poster.
Yeah.
So the reward was to go to England for 2 weeks. And since I have amazing talents, I won the competition because not only my English good,
Uh,
I'm an amazing artist too. And
thank you.
so I won the
Oh,
competition. And then I went to England at summer, actually on my birthday.
oh
And
yeah, I remember those times.
yes, yes, yes,
It was really glad to do that. Glad you do that. Thank you. Go.
yes. Um, and then no, it was for 1 week. We went there for a week, and we went to London, and we like had lessons with people from other countries. Like there were people from Italy, Argentina, Thailand. There were people from lots of countries. Um, so there were lessons, of course, but we also had some trips. We visited the London Eye. Actually, this is a souvenir from there. Like here.
Nice. Yeah, I
Yes,
see.
and
London
then we
Eye,
went to see the
Clock
Big
Tower.
Ben. Yes, and then we went to the National Art Galleries, which Sherlock was once in there. We like saw all of those places, and we saw a lot of Harry Potter merch, which was not really nice. And then we visited the Greenswich, I think, the
Greenwich,
place
yes.
Greenwich. Yes,
The,
that place.
Greenwich, the zero point 0.4, that
Yes.
mathematical global
Hmm.
positioning. Yeah.
Yes, and our teachers were really nice too. Like we had many competitions, English competitions. Everyone had to speak English, obviously. Um, and then like it was really fun because I actually had lots of friends, and we still like talk sometimes. Um, and people were nice, and we used to have like discos at nights.
I see.
Thank you so
So
much.
all fun and joy were together in England. But how did you feel? I mean, um, once you were in Turkey trying to broaden or improve language skills in those classrooms full of Turkish teenagers or children who have really great problems with understanding English, speaking English, and you took yourself to England, the base of the language. So.
Yeah.
Uh, did you feel that hesitation or fear of doing or making mistakes in that crowd, in that amount of English speakers, they professional English language speakers? How was that?
Never. I'm quite confident in myself in that area. I mean, they do not know, they probably do not know like two languages. So I was confident in myself. What are they gonna say? Oh, you pronounced that word wrong. Let me correct it for you. No, they won't. They won't do
They
that.
didn't
They
do
never.
anything
No,
like
never.
that. I see.
And there were people whose English were like not amazing, but like nobody spoke to them like, yeah, you don't know English. We do not like you. Nobody was like that. We
I
tried to
see.
communicate with everybody.
I see. One extra question: did they try to correct you through you?
Never,
Okay,
never.
never.
They were actually really understanding, and even if they didn't understand anything, they wouldn't like make it rude. They would just ask it right away.
I see. It's, next question is maybe it can be strange to you. Did they try to learn a little bit Turkish from you?
Yes, actually, I did
Really?
teach them some words. Um, maybe this is not appropriate for here. No, it's not. Um, we occasionally taught the normal hi, hello, how are you, what's your name, and they couldn't even pronounce my name, so they like used to call me Sue. It was like,
I,
and
it is
and
easier to
yes,
say that.
and
I see.
yes,
Okay.
and they actually taught me their words too. Like my Thai friends were so nice, so they taught me a lot of things which I do not remember now, but still.
Okay. So, uh, one extra activity at school, I mean, that fun for read for fun
Hmm.
competition took you to England
Right?
as an award, a kind of sponsorship, you know.
Yes.
Um, uh, so, did you talk about your experiences, your adventure to your closest friend or to your teachers or other schools? Did they ask many questions about this trip, this travel?
I actually can't keep my mouth shut about this. So like I tell it to
I see.
everyone because it was like the greatest experience of my life probably. Because imagine you're going to England nearly for nearly paying no money. I mean, you obviously do, but it was amazing. It was simply perfect. And 1 week is such a long time because at the end of that week, I missed my parents. Like I was
Yep.
saying, nah, it wouldn't be a problem.
You were
No.
too young. Oh, yeah.
Yes, probably. I was like 13 or something. I used
Yep.
to, yeah.
You please carry on. Those were important days for a break point. You know,
Yes,
if you had
definitely.
that bad or discouraging experience with those English guys or some other foreign guys there, maybe they would discourage you somehow and you wouldn't like to speak English anymore because they corrected you in the group or in the class atmosphere. But you had good experiences, you had a good heart.
Hmm.
But rather than the thing I admire you the most was you tried once, but you couldn't uh, get
Oh,
that first place at the competition. You
hmm.
couldn't win at your first year, but later yes, you come again. You came
Yes,
again,
I
and
tried
you
again and I
take
won.
your step again, and uh, you applied for the competition. But this time you hit that first place and got yourself to England. That is the thing I
Yes,
really admire most about you. That is that
thank
courage,
you.
that confidence, and that courage. Uh, it was your second place, first year, second place. Yes, you hit the second place, right? At the
I think
competition of
so.
third.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. When I was in
You
fifth grade.
you didn't quit. You didn't give
Nope,
up. And
never.
second year, you became the first student from
Mm-hmm.
our school, I guess,
Yes.
who
Uh,
who went to England.
yes, I was actually. And then,
Um,
um, when I like approaching these kind of things, I always think to myself, what do I have to lose? Like, I won't lose anything from joining a competition, even if I don't win the competition.
I
So I
see.
just go for it.
I see. Ladies and gentlemen, youngsters and adults, you can follow Seval Sudesan Turk. Do you have digital platforms or any kind of YouTube account or Facebook account or Instagram account? Do you share something about English or anything like that?
I have an art account actually, with where I share my art. So I think it would be nice if you give it a follow.
Thank you. And Ege is here and following us. Ege, thank you very much for your uh, yes, for your struggle, and has another comment or question. Has she read a book translated from Turkish to English, or
Uh,
vice
I
versa?
probably haven't. No, I
Haven't.
haven't.
Then I changed the question. Şevval, did you try to translate any English text to Turkish or Turkish text to English?
Of course I did. I'm always doing it. But I think
Yeah,
I think when you understand English to a certain level, you sort of forget Turkish at some point, because you don't understand the English um, as in like Turkish form. You understand English in English form. So the word does not come to you in its Turkish meaning. It comes to you in the English meaning. So it like immediately forms in your brain, not in the word phrases, but in the action.
I see. I
Mm-hmm.
see. Um, uh, Shawal, maybe you can't believe that, but it is the 37th minute of our conversation here, and
It went
uh,
pretty fast.
really, I was surprised to see that because it is almost 40 minutes, and I didn't feel like 40 minutes here.
Yes,
Thank you very
me
much.
too.
I really like that, but uh, mm, Ege, Ege, I appreciate you. I am really thankful to you. You are following us seriously and you are asking questions about this English and English practice on English and English practice. I really like that. By the way, Cheval is or was a student of mine and some other
Mhm,
teachers. It was a really great pleasure to share those times with you and with your friends. I
me
have been
too.
planning to host those friends
Mhm,
somehow in our shows together with you or without you, but I am
mhm,
really um, willing to do that, seeking to get you here and have a better conversation in a sincere atmosphere. Thank you very much for that. Um, if you were given a choice, says Ege, which
mhm.
language would you choose? For example, Italian?
Um, I think I would choose Russian. If
Hmm.
I mean, it's only about the economy, you know. If I were to, yeah, because
Like
um,
that.
but if we put that
Fantastic.
aside, a language which I would like to learn is French, probably, just because it sounds amazing. It sounds angelic,
I see.
even.
Sorry. That was my fault. Yes, this is Rehber Çetiner. And ladies and gentlemen, now you are in this channel, Eğitim Rehberim, but we created another channel for you that you can follow in English and talk in English, ask in English, make comments in English, and even you can suggest us or criticize us, and you can write your comments just below the video or below the show. Because every time here in that channel, what channel? I mentioned it here again. We have Chatterhouse Community YouTube channel. You can follow us there, and if you subscribe, we really love that so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to get students, teachers, educators, and some professionals here to set examples to you about how to learn English, how to practice English, what are the easiest ways, what are the practical ways that you can follow, that you can use. Even we can talk about the digital platforms or the digital applications that can back you up in your way, let's say, because learning a second language or a foreign language is a very long process, but your willingness changes all because it is just a step away. If you take that step with your courage and with your um, sympathy or somehow with your activities, it will get easier in time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sheva Sude Shantur Sue with us, and she shared her experiences in learning English, gaining English competence, and using or practicing it in her daily life. And I am really thankful to those who posted their comments, sent us their questions, and interact in this live show. Sheval, Russian, you said, right? You talk Russian.
Um,
Can
it
you
was the first
again?
option, but I would prefer French over Russian.
Hmm.
Hmm.
French takes the first place.
Yes.
Did you ever try Latin? I mean Spanish or kind of?
I have tried Latin from Duolingo, and actually have tried French too.
Hmm.
Um, but then you just forget about it and then just drop it when you don't follow it. So it
So,
wasn't really effective.
still spending time on Russian now?
No, no, I have never learned Russian
Oh,
actually.
no. Okay. I, I couldn't find that link. I see. I shared in my Facebook account and Instagram account, Ahmed. You can follow that. Um, the name of the channel is Chatterhouse Community. Uh, I will try my best to let you know that. Okay, I will let you know that in a few days or shorter. I guess, Ahmed, thank you very much. Sheval, what would you like to say about how to practice English in daily routines in Turkey? How can students or adults create time or spare time, or what can they do when they get themselves out of school?
Hmm. I think the most important thing you can do is having a friend that you can speak English with. um, and other than that, I would say series, YouTube, um, reading books is super important because they're fun things. So they do not make you bored. So I would say they're effective.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as a teacher, teaching, there are too many discussions about the best techniques and the approaches and the activities, but I can advise you as you can start with uh, singing singing
Oh,
together with
yes.
the singers because it is the best way to reflect your emotions and improve your uh, tone of voice or change your tone of voice and have the joy of speaking something new and pronouncing the new words accordingly. And the second one is loud reading, I mean audio reading. You can read a book loudly and then check yourself from the digital or audio version of the book, and you can try your best to catch up with the book and or the voice that you are hearing from the digital version of the book. Later, you can try to memorize the words that you hear in the movie or clips or videos. It will help you to gain that confidence, because if you pronounce those words accordingly, uh, you will feel that close relation with the actor or the poet or the singer. That will help you too much about gaining your confidence and improving your language skills. Later, you can translate any Turkish text to English and any English text to Turkish. It will help you to measure your work power or your creativity or your understanding of the language, because there are idioms, there are cultural issues, there are specific names and some references to some places and some era or some time. So try your best to translate any single text to English or any English text to Turkish, but start with the easiest one. Look, I have these books, and luckily they were gifts to me from a very, very sincere and close friend. I am really grateful to him. I practice a lot English with him, but he was the pioneer, because um, he read these books, I mean, and after that, he gave them all to me. Maybe there are some here that he didn't read. Look, you need to have an appetite of the book, you need to love the books. When you
Mhm.
start the book, you can do many activities. Translation is one of them, reading loud, audio reading is another one. But try to get yourself into the book and try to understand the what understand the uh, scenario, understand the get the emotion, and try to find the specific points that you can link to yourself. For example, the time I started Stephen King, I was surprised. I thought that I knew English beforehand, but when I started Stephen King, he taught me that I didn't. So every book has its own level and own word formations and sentence formations, and even the scenario can be complex, and you can find yourself in very interesting odds or obstacles. Please try to start level one. I really suggest you to start any level one to level two and level three. Try to finish 10 books or 15 books in every level. Then you will find yourself at level four or five in a very short time. But don't stuck with the words or the phrasal verbs or those things. You can get used to it. You can understand when you just see it or had a glance of it. So don't hesitate to do activities. Please do take your step and create activities or follow interviews and without subtitles, by the way. Please do the
Mhm.
same that Sude did without subtitles. You will understand it, you will understand it, you will understand it in time. Sude,
I was gonna ask you
last
something.
words? Yep.
Um, have you ever read a Shakespeare book?
I am not a great fan of Shakespeare because he was an awkward man.
Yes.
Please keep it between us, because he can invent verse
Yes.
rather than using the
Hmm.
original verse. So he has own style and unique style.
Yes,
I
definitely.
didn't really like Shakespeare, but he can create those emotional, sensitive uh, atmosphere in or around the events he created. He has a
Hmm.
good scenario normally as a poet, uh, but I advise or suggest books those are really related with social issues or
I see.
specific relation kind of thing, or
Hmm.
action making detective stories can help you more than dram- dramas or um, romance. You know.
Hmm. He relies more on his like literature than the topic, I think. So,
Uh,
um, I need to mention one more thing. If you do not have anyone to practice your English with, talk to yourself. I always talk to myself. Like, talk to yourself
hmm.
from, it's not weird, it's not crazy,
Yeah, it's
it's
not
completely
weird. I
okay.
appreciate that. It was strange though.
um, no, I even do it like while my parents are around. They just watch me like, we still like you, I guess. You're our daughter. And then, but like, it's super fun. First of all, you can choose your own topics and you can like lead the place where the conversation is going. So you can talk about anything and it helps you so much. And at some points, you start to dream in English too. If you keep doing that, if your inside voice is in English.
As a last question, what was your motivation about having that accent, English kind of English accent? Did you really, I mean, studied hard, try hard to get that, or it was a natural process for you?
I would say it was a natural process because, as I said earlier, I had like a sparkle of accent when I was a kid too. Um, but like it keeps improving, I think. The more I watch, the more I sing, the more I read it. Well, reading does not really affect your accent, but still, um, I think it keeps improving. But I can't really say that I study for it. But as I said, improvising. Um, it's probably not improvising, but I can't really impersonating.
Impersonating, that's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
impersonating things. So when you try to impersonate things, you just get it.
Thank you, Sheval. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, I am really appreciate your effort and spending
Thank
time
you.
here, sparing time here, because it was important for me to have this step
Hmm.
and have an English show or live show here with you.
Hmm.
Uh, if I can have that plans for the future, I will be seeing you here again, inshallah, with some new guests, together with some new guests. Thank you very much for your
Yes, of course, I'm
um,
honored.
my pleasure. It was always a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Rehber Çetiner proud to present Şevval Sude Şentürk. Thank you, Şevval. See you next time, inshallah. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. And this is Rehber Çetiner. As you see, it is written here, the guide. Guide is the English translation of my name, Turkish name. Rehber means guide, guide means rehber. So this is the first video. This is the first live show here in English. Um, you can subscribe. You can leave your comments just below the video, and you can share us your criticisms and your suggestions and some other things, please do not hesitate to call or write to us. We will see you in our second broadcast, inshallah. Bye bye.